Reddit ask me anything. I am a nanny for a super rich family in China. Ask me anything. I live in the south of China looking after a kid in the south of China. Ask me anything. How often do Chinese guys try to hit on you? Edit for spelling. All the time, but not in a very sleazy way. If I go out they send drinks to my table which I actually don't like, and I get people coming up to me in the street, but it's not intimidating or anything. Do random people approach you on the street to take your picture just because you're different skin tone from them? When I was there this happened at least half a dozen times just because I'm white. Took a while to realize they weren't handing me their cameras to take a pic of them and their friends. They were each wanting a photo with me. So odd. So much. What was the worst thing to happen to you at this job? And the best? Thanks for the ask me anything. I kept telling the family here I was sick for about 3 months and they just laughed it off and told me to get over it. Eventually I got a fever and deep pain in my kidneys, which was a kidney infection. They wouldn't drive me, so I had to walk a few miles to the most vile hospital ever and get examined on a gurney in a room of Chinese people with colds by them thumping me and asking me if it hurt in certain places. I had to pay a buttload and get lots of IVs. The best. The boy can be very sweet and funny, and I had a great birthday party here. We went to a Chinese club and I brought twerking to the mainland. They wouldn't drive you to the hospital, so you had to walk? Man, you need to get out. Oh, trust me, I am. Does the wife treat you like someone to befriend or just like a servant to shoo away and just get work done out of? From what I hear, the au pair program is supposed to let you have like a second family almost. Oh, she's generally sweet to me. Really, they are very nice. Especially the AE grandmother, so I've been relatively lucky. However, some things remind me of my status sometimes, like not being taken for medical care, etc. Is the pay worth moving to a different country? What expenses are or are not covered? I get paid shit all. I have all my food, room and pocket money given to me. I also get some treats now and then because the host mother is generous, so I get some beauty treatments and things for free. I also get free Chinese lessons, which is good. They pay in part for my flight there too. The experience has been very interesting, but the agency has scammed me in a few ways too. Would you suggest this type of work for other women who are looking for a job? Sounds shitty on the agency part. Any way of sorting that out? Or do you just have to suck it up? How long do you plan on staying? Sorry for so many questions. There are men doing the same thing I am too. But I think if you want to really experience another culture fully, being thrown in like this teaches you a lot. I wouldn't do this long term. I'm contracted to stay for another 6 months, but I don't know if I can because I'm starting to go a bit nuts. The agency are a scammy bunch of dunts. They basically get paid a bomb for us and we get nothing but pocket money. They promised me health insurance, but after I paid for when I got very sick they suddenly told me it only covered accidents. And really there's very little I can do about that. What is shitty about your job? Many things. Not being able to fully discipline the kids sometimes. The lack of freedom as a previously quite independent person, and actually China is very dirty and polluted. So I feel quite guilty I get to leave and they just have to deal. What's their daily routine like? How do the super rich in China live? It seems to vary family by family. I've other nanny friends, but mine seems to be the father away all the time apart from one day at the weekend. The mother ferrying her son to all his schools and activities and endless parties and lavish dinners. During the day there's very little to do because there's also a housekeeper. They shop, go the movies and watch TV. What is the weirdest things you have seen the kids do and then get away with? Pick his nose and wipe it on me? Wave his bare ass at me? Oh, and a friend who works an hour or so away has seen the kids be allowed to just piss on the living room floor so they don't have to move from the television. Occasionally they'll bring him a bucket. Piss on the floor? That takes the cake for me. What is the difference in wealth of this family compared to the surrounding families, and how does the kid get treated compared to other kids? This is a very rich neighborhood, but having been in some other apartments and things, they seem slightly richer in comparison. This kid seems more pushed than the other kids. 6 days off school a week and 4 music lessons in the evenings too. Do they recycle their trash? What's their stance on the environment? Climate change? Carbon footprint? If by recycle you mean go to idyllic spots and ruin them with chewing gum, drinking bottles and bodily fluids, then yes, they don't give a duck. Either that or they are very uneducated on how terrible it is. Most have never known different. When you say super rich, how rich are we talking? Own many nice cars, luxurious apartment and second home, one kid in boarding school, other privately educated. Are people still constantly spitting in the street? To some this may sound like a dumb question, but when I went to China, regardless of where you were, people spit constantly in public. I read that China was trying to get people to stop that, but I was wondering if any actual improvement had happened. I wake up every day to that sound and hear it all day. People spit everywhere non-stop and it is vile. It hasn't stopped one bit. What does the father do for a living? I think he owns a real estate company and some factories. You can't be a boss here in China without engaging in at least some dodgy activities. Sad but true. If you killed the kid, would they go to the police or have you killed without involving law enforcement? I'm not sure. Be right back testing to see consequences. Reply OP. We must know. She looks pissed. Ever thought about quitting your job? And if you did, for what reason? Thanks for your Ask Me Anything. Oh yeah, daily I think of just bailing to the airport. The reasons are because since I was sick here I've actually lost money and I have a boyfriend in America at the moment who I miss terribly. Also this agency are a bunch of lying dongs. And I miss being able to work out outdoors without being afraid for my lungs. It sounds silly too, but most of the men here are very slight and metrosexual. I miss a masculine presence and my friends. So you're an Englishwoman working in China with a boyfriend in America? Yes indeed. Tell me about the good experiences you've had. Positive things that have changed your view on the world. Meeting young Chinese people and having so much in common with them. Even when language was a problem we have had so much fun learning about each other's cultures and helping each other out. I've made amazing friends. How sweet the Chinese are to their kids. Watching the grandparents sit by the lake with the young kids is heartwarming. Bonding with a kid who isn't mine and having him give me a kiss goodnight. Lots of good things. Do they have any weird secrets that you've accidentally uncovered? Rich people always do weird shit. Not me personally, but my two friends here both have husbands who have had affairs. One who is a university lecturer who boned his student. What made you decide to be a nanny? I like kids a lot and I like traveling. I couldn't think of a question, but now I have one after reading. Now that you are familiar with the wealthy family, and considering that they are wealthy, assuming you are doing a decent enough job, and going with what you said about the agency you work for being shitty, what is to stop you from negotiating better pay with the family you work for, vacations, benefits and all? I've already signed a fixed contract, though, that's the thing. And I'm not legally allowed to be paid more because of my visa. The reason it's so easy to come here is because what I do comes into cultural exchange, so I don't receive a salary. Are there many male nannies? Would that be considered weird? Mannies. Does your kid have those pants with the ass cut out of them so he can just go where he drops? Can't imagine having to deal with that. He's 7. A few questions. Does the family live in a gated community? Had you studied the Chinese language before you left or did you pick it up as you went along? How long have you been there? And how long do you think you'll stay before you move on? And where to next? Does the family use Reddit? Yes, they do. In a rich gated neighborhood. I knew bits on Pinyin before, but I learned characters and everything when I came here. I will probably stay a month or 2 more before I really have to leave, and I will probably go to the west coast of America. I sure hope they don't use Reddit. What ridiculous rules and tasks do they have for you? What's your race? How good is your Chinese? Or are you expected to teach the little prince in English? How rich is the family? How much pull do the family have? Have you ever stolen anything from them? I am half black, half Middle Eastern. I'll upload a picture of me. Rules are weird. I have to be in my room by 8 and then I can't really do anything else apart from computer things. They've made me take him to school when I've been very sick before. I was very pissed about that. My Chinese is not the best, but I am getting there. But yes, I give him English lessons. That's why they hired me. The family have a very nice apartment and 5 pro shares, which is just silly. I'm not sure, but wherever we go we seem to just jump lines, so no, I've not stolen. I'm a very guilty person. Bro, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, mate. It's free and that's a great price.